Views on that, of course, would be very welcome, as would those of theologian Vicky Beeching and comedian Andrew Ryan. This was in one of your stories a little bit earlier on, Andrew, wasn't it? I mean, what do you make of the reaction here? It seems determination from which that they are going to get some movement on this one way or the other.
I mean, but that gentleman just said there that the NatWest get 2.5 million phone calls a year. The money that they're making off that,
a month, that was.
And also, you know, with the trials and tribulations of the economic situation over the past 5 or 6 years, the way banks and bank charges, etc. I think they've got to be put under a lot of pressure, you know, because a lot of people now, like, I would like to resolve a problem by phone. A lot of people bank online, but a lot of older and elderly people don't bank online. They like to speak to that person over the phone. And now, especially when you're speaking to like fuel poverty, food banks, all coming into the Christmas months now as well, these are just another cost that they could do. And I think if NatWest or all these other banks could actually give something a little bit back and make a bit of a good gesture and change these to make it free for us, it might actually start changing the sort of like the way people start thinking about them, you know, rather than always just being money grabbing all the time, you know.
It's an interesting idea, but it's going to cost them. If they cut this out, it's going to cost them at least, well, NatWest on those figures would 60 million quid a year. So it's either way, it's going to cost them, but they're not short of money.
Oh, they're not short, no.
We know that much, don't we? Look, let's look at the Mail on Sunday, Vicky. Justin Welby wants us to give. It's like sort of tides, isn't it? Give 10% of our income.
So he's calling on people this year to just consider whether or not 10% of their festive budget could be donated to this growing network we have of food banks in the UK. He's clarifying in this article, he says, I'm not a Scrooge. He's not trying to kind of bring a downer on Christmas, but he's saying that he's worried people are going to overspend and be left with what he's calling a debt hangover. So he's really just saying, you know, to just keep the focus of Christmas in the right place, that there shouldn't be a pressure on us to buy really expensive gifts for people, but we could actually think about people who have literally nothing, who may have nothing on their table. And he's backed up by statistics. It's interesting, even in these times of austerity, our spending is up again this year. For Christmas, the average gift is £28.70, and the average household will spend £822. And apparently that household figure is up £54 from last year. So even though we're so strapped for cash, we're spending more, and I like the Archbishop's call to just consider, instead of that pressure, to actually give something away. I mean,
10% in some respects sounds like a lot. If everyone gave a couple of quid's worth of stuff, if everyone did it, it would make a huge difference.
Yeah, I asked Twitter for some feedback on that, and they said that the amount people just spend on chocolate, you know, if we just considered giving some of that away to the food banks, I mean, it's really the luxuries we can do without that we could give for people's essentials.
It's meant to be the season of goodwill, isn't it? So let's hope people take some of that on board. The Independent on Sunday, they've got a... I mean, this says it all, Andrew.
It's a photograph of a big switch. I love switches. I love the great, you know what I mean? I've got a blue one in my house as well as a red one. Oh, I have a great day myself. Yeah, the big switch this week. The Minister, Ed Davey, the Climate Change Secretary, actually, is urging everyone now to actually move this week. Right, and I brought this up because actually me and my housemate are actually moving electricity supplier. We said we're going to do it this. We've looked into the outside the big six, all the smaller companies.
Are you saving much money with it?
I think we're probably going to save maybe £8 a month or something.
Right.
But the cost of the 0845 numbers just cancel that out straight away.
And the hassle of switching, hopefully it's not going to be too much
exactly,
hassle.
yeah, but we've got to change. But it's the cost of the administration involved in the switching. But the big switchers are urging people to leave the big six and go look at other options as well, to try and get better deals as well, because Davy's saying that nobody actually trusts the big six anymore. And I think a lot of people now are becoming a lot more sort of wise to this, because it's been in the media now for about 2 or 3 weeks, and every Christmas, every winter, it's the same story every year. So I think if there is a big movement this year, that people do move, hopefully things will change for next year as well, and also you know, fuel poverty will be lower then, you know. So it's
if we all vote with our feet, there is a sort of impetus, isn't there, in group activity.
If it opens up the market, the thing I always find is that you can look at these websites and all the rest of it, but actually you're stuck within a very limited area of discount. You don't.
Some
I say
of the
£8
new
a
tariffs
month,
are actually worse, aren't they? They have been reporting that actually there's now less choice because there's less options, so people may actually have less kind of good deals to look out for.
But do keep your eyes open for those bargains, because they are, aren't they? You have to let us know how you get on, Andrew. I'd be keen to know what you. That's the electricity.
I've got the energy.
Well, hey. Look, Vicky,
so
Mail on Sunday. Look, we covered this. We covered this yesterday. We had a VT on this, but it's got worth it again. Back here. What a sweetheart.
So this is all thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and this is 5-year-old Miles Scott, who has been suffering with leukemia since he was 18 months old. His greatest wish in the world was to be a superhero. So the city of San Francisco just went overboard. They got 10,000 people. They created a Gotham City. It's amazing. And even Obama did a recorded message for him. So Obama sent him a message saying, "Way to go, Miles, you just saved Gotham."
Yeah.
And I think, to me, it's just a reminder that whatever our situations are, dreams are really powerful things. And when you make somebody's dream come true, it can literally change. Like, his life will never be the same again. So
I'll never forget.
No.
I think it's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It is such a heartwarming
How
story.
can you top that, though? What are you doing today? I was just Batman. What are you doing tomorrow? Sitting home?
Yeah. Well, you could top it by putting out the ciggies.
Oh, this is.
I can't quite believe
I don't
this
know if
story.
this is good and bad. This is bad and bad, but it's got goodness. There's a child, basically, he's...
Two, isn't he?
He's 2 over in Indonesia, and he's just quit, thankfully, 40 fags a day at 2 years old. 40 a day at 2 years old. But that's the good news. The bad news now is that he's addicted to food. He's a food addict. But I always think, like, who's buying him the cigarettes? Like,
how did he start?
Yeah, how did he start? Did he turn around to his mum and go, "Pause, Peppa Pig down to go outside for a smoke"? You know what I mean? Like, how is he doing it? It's ridiculous.
He must be getting them from somewhere.
But it's obviously, yeah, like, I mean, I just find that his parents are saying, "Oh, it's very sad for him." Well, I blame the parents, you know, a 2-year-old addicted to cigarettes.
He's 4 stone as well.
He's 4 stone, yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it's going to be like when he's older.
And he must be around smoking in order to even know what it is or have access to the cigarettes.
When I was growing up as a kid, I was around smoking, but I didn't smoke.
No, because your parents would have said
I
not.
don't understand this story.
Well, it's a different.
That looks slightly
culture,
photoshopped. Is that actually real?
I don't know. It's really it's
Very,
awful.
It's really sad. It's incredibly sad. But you know, but he's on a diet now of muesli, so you know, every cloud.
Well, there you go. Got to look on the positive, Andrew. Got to look on the positive. We're going to take a short break. Back with you with more in just a moment. Worked up about... You're not the first person to get worked up about Mr. Darcy.
I'm not worked up.
Okay.
This is...
what have I pressed here?
This is a new series coming out. It's an adaptation of Death Comes to Pemberley, which is the sequel to Pride and Prejudice, but there's been some complaints because Mr. Darcy in this is obviously not going to be Colin Firth, it's somebody else, and he's not going to be coming out of the water with the wet shirt. He's going to actually be a much more of a family, mature man, and they're worried this will make people not want to watch. But my reflection on it really is that I think they really underestimate what people find attractive. I certainly don't think that, you know, Mr. Darcy in a wet shirt coming out of the water, as they're saying, is really going to make people want to watch Death Comes to Pemberley or Pride and Prejudice. And somehow they're skewing the kind of mature family man, nice guy as actually unattractive, which I think is actually not that cool.
Gillian?
No, I agree. I think it's unfair.
Yeah. I mean, it makes us women sound ridiculous, or anybody that, you know, just everybody's just about kind of, you know, visuals rather than a nice guy.
It's very demeaning to men that you'd want him to wear a wet T-shirt. It's disgraceful, actually.
Embarrassing.
We wouldn't do it, would we?
Oh, God.
We're too busy making our dogs smell nice.
Yes, I find this quite simple, very funny. With all the costs of phoning up people, moving banks, if you've got any money left over and you've got a dog, there's nothing better at Christmas than that dog smelling fantastic, right? I love a good smelly dog, right? But like, people are actually good at Christmas presents, buying their dogs hats, they're buying them perfume, they're going to look better and smell better than you over Christmas. And I just find that with all the things going on nowadays, people put so much interest into their pets and stuff like that. I think that actually, if they put a bit more interest, more money back in their own bank, in their own pockets, they would be able to afford more stuff.
You can make your dog smell of kennel number 5.
Kennel number 5.
Old Spike,
Kennel
I
number
love
5.
I love it.
Kennel 7.
Yeah, well, next time we see you, Andrew, I expect you to smell of K9. There you go.
You go boss at the moment, Stephen. You go boss, mate.
Good to see you both this morning. Thank you very much indeed. We're going to have a check on the weather for you right now. Here's Isabel.